So I just read this book called Bunny by Mona Awad, and this has quickly become one of my favorite books of all time. I know I made a video talking about how I love Phantom of the Opera. It's a great book, but this might have topped it, in my opinion. It is so great, and I know I glaze on this channel so much, but I want to glaze this book because I cannot stop thinking about it. I finished it like a week ago, and I can't stop thinking about it. This is a spoiler review. If you want to read the book, go ahead and click off and you can watch this later. But the book basically takes place in a university called Warren University, where a bunch of rich people go there. It tells the story of a group of girls who are very cliquey and very rich, obviously. And basically, these group of girls are in a writing cohort, and they're like women who want to become writers. And the main character, Samantha, ends up joining them in this writing cohort. And at first, she's like, I hate these people, they're annoying, they call themselves Bunny, like, this is a cult, this is weird. As the story progresses, she ends up hanging out with the bunnies because she gets invited to one of their smut salons. Her friend Ava, who she's best friends with, tells her not to go, but she goes anyways, right? And throughout the story, she becomes closer and closer with them, and she eventually learns what their real motive is. And basically, they capture bunnies outside, they bring them to an attic, and the bunny explodes. And when the bunny explodes, a man comes and knocks on the door, and they all have sex with him, basically. A whole freaky ass cult. The way it's written is just so incredible to me because it has so many like little details of like how Samantha's feeling about this, what she's talking about, and it really feels like it's a book that she wrote. And I just think that's so cool. She ends up becoming super close with them, and there's a chapter that I think is beautifully written. It is a masterpiece. She refers to everyone as we, right? So she's like, instead of talking about herself, she's like we. But she's the only one in this scene. And she's talking about how she's Bunny and, oh, Bunny this, oh, Bunny that, oh, I love you, Bunny. And in this scene, Ava comes and basically snaps her out of it. And in the next chapter, it's back to I rather than we. And I think that is so masterfully written because it's so metaphorical to the idea of a woman getting trapped in this cliquey society of women friendships, and how sometimes people have to really pull you back into reality when you're trapped in this group of people that you don't fuck with, really. And that was an incredible transformation for her character because she went from somebody who got sucked into this cult and then came out of it. It went from we to I. And that is so subtle, but it is so goddamn good. And that was one of the best chapters I've ever read in my life, written so beautifully. She ends up getting close with Ava again. They come to a collision with the bunnies. Basically, the group of cliquey girls end up killing Ava. It's written in a way where you kind of have to really like read between the lines to know exactly what happened. But basically, Samantha comes into the house that Ava lives in. It's abandoned. It's an abandoned house. She finds Ava's boyfriend, who is a creation that Samantha made from exploding the bunny, and he is holding a swan that is stabbed and bleeding. And essentially, she runs out and she knows the bunny's killed her, but at first you're like, oh, it's a swan. What are we talking about, right? But if you go back to the beginning and remember the deer that looked at Samantha while she was trying to get inside one of the bunny's house, you notice that connects because they're both animals. It's there when you realize that Ava was a figment of Samantha's imagination, and it is a metaphor for loneliness and harbored creativity. Kind of realizing that is just so heartbreaking. You get into the mind of this woman and how deeply, deeply lonely she is, that she's creating imaginary people. The swan is so symbolic because she originally met Ava at a park next to a lake, and in that scene, she sees a swan on the lake. And swans can represent peace, love, and connection. So it makes sense that she created Ava. And it is so fascinating because when the people get killed, like the creations from the girls, they turn back into their animals that they were originally. And I just think the choice of the swan was incredible. And I also really like the critique of just women friendships. There's a lot of groups of women in like cliquey groups where they pretend to love each other, but in reality, they always hate each other. Not all the time, but it happens. And I just really like that critique because I'm someone who's experienced that with other girls. And it's just very like Mean Girls and Heathers type situation. There's some theories about this book and how it ends. Throughout the story, we see Jonah come out from different points in time in the story. And she ends up becoming really good friends with Jonah, and she realizes this is the first real friend I've had. And there's some really, really fascinating theories about what this story really is. For one, this is the book that Samantha wrote as her thesis from the writing cohort that she was in, which is great because it's written in a way that's like written like a college student, and that's really cool. Another theory is that all of this just was her imagination and none of this actually happened. She just created all these people from her mind because of her loneliness, and I think that's really interesting as well. And this story is just so masterfully written, and it's such a beautiful critique and a beautiful light on women's experiences. And it is so perfect. It's a 10 out of 10 book. I love it so much. And I hope you guys can read it too. It's so good. And there's a movie coming out apparently, so I'm gonna go see that. But yeah, thank you for watching.